CTV News with Ricardo Veneza.
Unfortunately, a 17-year-old female from Essex County was pronounced deceased at hospital.
Heartbreak in Lakeshore tonight after a deadly jet ski crash on Lake St. Clair this afternoon. Good evening. Ontario Provincial Police had called the afternoon wreck a marine incident as investigators pieced together what happened. Our Travis Fortnum brings us the very latest details on what unfolded this afternoon. Travis.
Ricardo, it was around 2 o'clock this afternoon when emergency crews rushed to pull 14 girls from the water near Couture Beach. Police say one of them didn't survive. Neighbors did not want to go on camera, but tell me the teens were enjoying the water before things took a tragic turn.
Right now, our investigation is trying to determine what led to the collision.
Police say a 17-year-old was killed and a 16-year-old was airlifted to trauma center with life-threatening injuries. 2 other girls, ages 15 and 17, were hurt but are expected to be okay. Those neighbors telling CTV News the teens were on a jet ski pulling an inflatable when they crashed into a break wall just off Couture Beach Road. Police say some witnesses jumped in to help before emergency crews arrived. An investigation into what caused the crash is now underway.
As they were removed from the water, the scene's pretty chaotic, so that's part of the investigation. And we're asking for anyone who hasn't spoken to police, who lives in the area, who may have witnessed this collision, to contact the Lakeshore OPP.
Police aren't saying yet whether the girl who died was driving or how the 4 teens knew each other, only saying the girls were all from Essex County. Ricardo.
Okay, tragic situation, and of course our condolences go out to all of those involved. That's CTV's Travis Fortnum tonight with our top story. Well, we're on the eve of a major meeting between President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Alaskan showdown aims to move the needle on peace in Ukraine. As CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, talks of ending Russia's war have kicked off with bravado.
Final preparations are underway in Alaska at the U.S. military base where the high-stakes summit is taking place.
I want to see if I can stop the killing.
Tomorrow, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will sit down face-to-face. Today, Putin called Trump's efforts to stop hostilities energetic and sincere, though Trump tempered expectations about this meeting ending with a truce.
The more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're having. We're going to see what happens. And I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along. And if they can, it'll be great.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky won't be in Anchorage, but Trump said a second summit between the 3 world leaders could come soon after. Today, Zelensky met with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and the pair emerged optimistic about the chance for peace, so long as Putin agrees to a ceasefire deal that protects Ukraine's territorial integrity.
If President Trump somehow manages to cajole that out of them, that will be the best possible outcome.
Today, Kremlin and White House officials confirmed that Trump and Putin plan to hold a joint press conference once their talks conclude. But Trump later said he could still decide to go solo if the meeting doesn't go well. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now to a major milestone for the newly named Fancy Family Hospital in Windsor. Officials have announced Ellis Don as the construction manager for the first phase of construction on the multi-billion-dollar project. That work will include laying the groundwork for future phases and will see administration and simulation training centers, as well as classrooms, office space, and a parkade all built. The contractor was selected through a competitive process and has managed previous hospital projects in the province. Diamond Schmidt Architects was picked to plan and design the new hospital. The first shovels are expected to go in the ground early next year, and the first phase could take 3 years to complete.
This is a major milestone in the project's history, selecting the first constructor on the first phase of this project. It's really seeing this project come to light. It's been a vision. It's been a story for so long. We haven't seen shovels in the ground, and this is a major step forward to seeing that come to reality really soon.
In Amherstburg, the former Western Secondary School is being repurposed by the Windsor Islamic Association. The group tells CTV sister station AM 800 News its purchase of the property is complete. The school closed in June 2022. Upgrades are well underway to reopen the school for September. Both An-Nur Private School and Windsor Islamic High School will be housed in that new building, bringing together about 450 elementary and 100 high school students. Premier Doug Ford is putting the previously announced $2.5 billion skills development fund to work, aiming to blunt the impacts of U.S. tariffs.
Today, I'm very excited to announce that over $2.8 million from the fund will go to 5 training projects across Durham region. These investments will help boost the local economy and keep workers on the jobs. They include support to train workers in the home building construction, carpentry, and manufacturing sectors.
The province is partnering with 5 organizations in Durham region through that $2.5 billion fund to deliver free training programs in sectors affected by tariffs and U.S. policies. And it was at that same news conference he touched on a move to peel back pandemic policies and put an end to hybrid work for Ontario's public servants. CTV's Natalie Johnson reports.
As Ontario civil servants headed into work today, many were dismayed by the directive that will see them back in the office 5 days a week, beginning in the new year.
I like going into the office, but I also really love working from home too. And there's a lot of flexibility with that. And at the end of the day, if the work is getting done, isn't that what matters?
A lot of our colleagues have to travel from outside the GTA. So it's probably quite tough for them.
I have to think about our busing situation because my kids are going to 2 different schools. Think about before and after, and a lot of things to think about.
This memo going out to all Ontario public service workers today. Quote, this decision is in line with an increasing number of organizations across the public and private sectors.
Everyone's more productive when they're at work, and how do you mentor someone over a phone? You can't. You got to look at them eye to eye, over the water cooler, wherever, train them, camaraderie. Plus the economy, too.
The Premier pointing to the empty path as just one example of the economic ripple effect working from home has had on the city's downtown.
I work at a restaurant down the street, so we actually like that people are coming back a little bit. More people coming getting lunches and stuff.
There's a certain benefit to going in person. There's definitely a reason why it was very helpful in the past, and it's not a bad idea necessarily to go back into it.
Ontario's public servants were first called back to the office for a minimum of 3 days a week in 2022. At that time, roughly half of them had been working remotely for much of the pandemic. The head of the AMA PCEO union, which represents some members of the Ontario Public Service, writing in a statement today that he was, quote, incensed by this morning's announcement and would fight to stop the Secretary of Cabinet from dragging Ontario's hardworking public service back to the Stone Age.
It's just time. Everyone's kind of saying it's time to get back to work. It's simple as that.
The transition to 4 days a week in the office will begin in October. 5 days a week takes effect in January. Natalie Johnson, CTV News, Toronto.
And still ahead, a look at the tensions as Air Canada and the union representing some 10,000 flight attendants near a Saturday strike deadline. Windsor police say a 69-year-old man convicted of second-degree murder over 30 years ago has been arrested again, this time for impaired driving. Now, this was the scene near Tecumseh and Lincoln Road shortly after 7:30 Tuesday night in Windsor. Police say the suspect is also accused of violating parole conditions, which includes an alcohol ban tied to that 1992 murder conviction. Windsor police are searching for a suspect wanted for allegedly spraying hate-motivated graffiti. Police released this photo today after officers were called to Ottawa Street this past Sunday, where Pride festivities were underway. CTV's Sanjay Maru reports.
What was supposed to be a day of celebration and love marred yet again by sign after sign after sign of hate.
It's getting tiring. How can anybody have so much hate in them anymore? It's saddening.
Some of the graffiti was cleaned up within hours, but as our cameras saw, not all of it could be erased in time. Among those who reported it was Ottawa Street BIA Chair Ettore Bonato, who spent part of the Pride Parade walking block after block with a paint roller in hand to remove the graffiti.
Windermere, all the way down to Perrin, on foot, checking everything all out. And the city of Windsor was out also, and they were doing all the electrical boxes. On the way back, I already saw words written in magic marker on the electrical boxes. So paint over it again.
Bonato says Ottawa Street's diversity with LGBTQ+ residents, newcomers, and longtime ethnic communities has made the area a target.
This type of hate graffiti, I find it a lot here. I fought 40 years ago for my rights. It is just amazing how all of a sudden we all have to fight again.
For the president of the Windsor Pride community, this is more than a nuisance, it's intimidation.
To you, it's just graffiti. To somebody else, that's a threat. It makes us have to look over our shoulders every time we walk down the street.
And Windsor police numbers show these reports are not slowing down. There were 32 hate-motivated reports in 2023, 39 in 2024, and 37 already in 2025, with 4 months of the year still to go. While police investigate these incidents, Bonato says the real message back to the vandals is simple.
We're not scared of you, and we're going to be who we want to be.
And as for Nicholson, she says she's committed to confronting hate head-on, no matter how often it appears.
I will come back every time, and I will speak out on it every time.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
Now, when it comes to giving back, we often hear Windsor punches above its weight. And our Chris Campbell shows that sentiment in action across the region today.
At Dairy Queen in Tecumseh, today's blizzard is more than just a cool treat. Miracle Treat Day sends every net dollar from blizzard sales to Children's Miracle Network hospitals, including pediatric care in Windsor.
When he was 7, he was hospitalized, started here in Windsor, but he had to be shipped to London's Children's Hospital, where he was put into an induced coma for a few days.
For Windsor's patient ambassador Luca and family, the fundraiser hits close to home.
It's a good way to get the kids that have been through these programs in touch with what they've actually gone through. A lot of them don't even realize that they were young when they first started there. So it gives the families a chance to kind of pay back everything that they've offered to us.
And next month, DKI Windsor Essex is stepping up their footsteps for families 5K walk run at Walkerville Brewery on September 7th will support Ronald McDonald House charities.
We are excited. We've already raised 20, but we have a $25,000 goal. So all we ask for the families in Windsor Essex to come out for a fun afternoon at Walkerville Brewery. We're excited to partner with them and Running Factory for this 5K walk and run.
Windsor's Ronald McDonald House inside Windsor Regional Hospital has helped 6,800 families since opening in 2016, but demand is growing.
See, we can't support 4 out of 5 families that need our services. Unfortunately, we do turn families away.
Organizers hope events like this not only bring in more donations, but also awareness.
The need is there, and the need is growing across the country, actually probably globally, but the need to support children who are in hospital is just increasing.
It's very hard, but I have a big heart for Windsor Essex. They are generally the most caring and giving people that I'm so proud to be a Windsorite, to be here because everybody has stepped up and do the challenge. So we hope that the families in Windsor Essex could do the same, even if it's a small donation.
From buying a blizzard to lacing up for a run, Windsor Essex is finding ways to keep families close when it matters most. Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Well, after the break, Gary Archibald joins us with a look at all of your weather details as we head into Friday.
Yeah, we're definitely buying Canadian. We're definitely buying in Canada.
Still ahead, our Bob Belichico looks to see if Windsorites are still buying Canadian as economic uncertainty persists. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining us now for a check of the forecast and some of the sunny temperatures, or sunny weather, I should say, that we have coming our way.
Some sunshine is in store, a continuation of the last few days. It will be warm and a bit humid, perhaps more so than today. But today was warm and comfortable for most, I hope. And we're still looking at temperatures climbing as we head towards the weekend. Reached a high of close to 29 degrees between Windsor, Essex, and Chatham-Kent. The low so far was a warm 19 degrees early this morning before dawn. Our averages keep getting lower as we start to round out and close out the summer season, head towards autumn or fall. And this is to be expected. Not much to see across southern Ontario, the Great Lakes proper. In terms of the cloud cover tonight, it's mostly clear, in fact. And tomorrow starts off sunny. We could see some pop-up showers, daytime heating being the trigger, but the next bout of rainfall may not come until Saturday late in the afternoon towards the early evening. Overnight temperatures drop down to a coolish but seasonal 16 degrees across the board. Here you have it for extreme southwestern Ontario. Partly cloudy at times, but there will be some clear breaks with a light breeze out of the north. And that breeze helped to keep things very comfortable and agreeable. As mentioned, tomorrow the winds aren't as strong, and we will be a bit warmer and a bit more humid, especially through the midday and for the afternoon. Already 27 degrees at noon, mostly sunny, feeling like 33. The winds of the north are light, 10K or less. Sunny through 5 p.m. At that juncture, we're looking at 30 or 31, feeling like 37 or 38. So it's a warm day tomorrow and humid. We could see some patchy fog in the early morning as well. Saturday, the story is sunny to start, increasing cloudiness around 4 or 5 o'clock. Rain showers possible at that point. A high of 32 feels close to about 38. Sunday, mostly cloudy and about a 40% chance of showers. And then I've been talking about next week being cooler, and it looks like it slowly but surely is headed that way. 27 on Sunday. Sunny, rather, on Monday. Tuesday, 27, about a 40% chance of showers on a cloudy day. Still cloudy on Wednesday, looking at 26 or 27 for a high, and then down to 24 or 25 between Windsor, Essex, Chatham, Kent, and sunny a week from now. So there you have it. Cooling next week is the big story. Tomorrow, warm. Stay dry and enjoy the outdoors.
Gary, thank you. Yeah, much more comfortable today, although still pretty hot. Now, Canada's main stock index not doing so hot. As you can see there, the market's really right across the board not doing so great. The TSX down 77, the Dow down 11, while the NASDAQ slides 2 points, way down by losses in the tech sector. Canadian dollar dropping a fifth of a cent, down to 72.43 cents U.S. Gold down more than $25 an ounce, while oil jumps $1.31 a barrel. Start your day with the latest local news. By signing up for our newsletter, you'll get direct local content straight from CTV Windsor to your inbox, including top stories, the forecast, and videos. You can sign up at ctvnewswindsor.ca. Air Canada has canceled dozens of flights today. Hundreds will follow tomorrow before a potential strike grinds the airline to a halt on Saturday. And the labor tensions were on full display at a company news conference earlier today.
Sorry about that. It's really again unfortunate that we are not allowing here reporters to do their job.
Some union members disrupted that news conference by airline executives. As you can see here, the union saw near total support for a strike from its members to back contract demands at the bargaining table. For flyers caught in the middle, though, CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more on how to navigate this turbulence.
Labor stoppage or not, you should still be able to get off the ground, according to industry watchers.
If you already have an Air Canada ticket booked and paid for, then Air Canada has to buy you a ticket.
In the case of an active strike, which is classified as outside an airline's control, large companies such as Air Canada are required by legislation to rebook customers on a new reservation for the next available flight that is operated by any carrier.
Any carrier means any airline, including but not limited to the airline's competitors.
On their website, Air Canada says customers whose flights are canceled will be notified and they will be eligible for a full refund. Air passenger rights advocates are advising customers against accepting a reimbursement.
One important thing to remember is do not accept a refund. Refund can be a way for airlines to wash their hands from their obligations to rebook you.
If you don't have a ticket and are looking to book travel in or out of Canada over the next several days, you might be in for a shock. The cheapest round-trip ticket departing Toronto tomorrow and returning from Vancouver next Friday costs more than $1,300. The same week-long round-trip ticket leaving September 5th, returning September 12th, is going for as little as $273. It all comes down to supply and demand that influences strategic pricing by the airlines.
Last-minute ticket prices, which always tend to be higher, and a substantial sudden increase in demand that is pushing prices up due to what might be a strike at Air Canada.
Again, if your flight is canceled by Air Canada, they're obligated to purchase you another ticket to your destination. If they refuse, consumer advocates say you could purchase one yourself and flip Air Canada the bill. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Now, when it comes to driving, car ownership is getting even pricier these days, with the average new vehicle now costing $66,000 in Canada. And as Pat Foran reports, it's an even worse situation for those with bad credit.
Marva Ebo of Bolton bought this 2016 Mazda SUV 3 years ago. Unfortunately, when she got a loan, she had credit issues. She borrowed just over $40,000 for the vehicle over 6 years. At almost 13% interest, the cost of borrowing is more than $17,000.
My credit was just below 600, so it was really hard to get any credit. So, of course, they approved me, but with a very high interest rate.
After paying $800 a month for the past 3 years, she still owes about $30,000 for the car, even though it's worth less than half that.
It's really, really frustrating, and I just reached a point now I don't know what to do.
Even if you have good credit, a recent survey found the total cost of car ownership in Canada is almost $1,400 a month. When you have bad credit, it's a lot more than that.
The data is showing that negative equity in car loans is now higher than it's ever been before.
Car Help Canada says anyone with poor credit or who has declared bankruptcy can end up with never-ending car payments.
The interest cost, the cost of financing ends up being so incredibly high that it quickly drowns them in debt, and they're left with a vehicle that's worth significantly less than what they originally paid for it.
It's important to maintain a good credit rating to avoid having to take out loans with high interest lenders.
If you miss just one payment, regardless of what that amount is, it can have a very real impact on your credit score. So you want to be really careful about that.
I do need a car. I just can't afford $800 a month.
For anyone stuck in a high interest loan, you could refinance, sell your car, or trade it in for something more affordable. Car Help Canada suggests paying it off as quickly as you can.
There's no easy way out of it. You just have to pay down the debt as quickly as you can, pay off the vehicle, and just hold on to it.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, as costs climb, aided in part by the trade war, the Buy Canadian movement may be losing some steam as shoppers choose price over pride. Our Baba Lachico has that story tonight.
Yeah, we're definitely buying Canadian. We're definitely buying in Canada.
The push to buy Canadian at grocery stores is still going strong, but according to Metro, one of the country's top grocers, and smaller stores like Fred's Farm Fresh, that movement may be losing a bit of momentum.
They got that taste in their mouth, you know, with Trump and all that other stuff. And I think they're still trying to, but it's not as important as it was, say, 6 months ago or 7 months ago.
Shoppers may not be as engaged with the slogan, but some say they are definitely committed to buying Canadian.
I think that people really do want to see, as Windsor especially and Canada in general, to, you know, produce what they need and make sure that we buy our things so that we are promoting our own people.
Instead of buying into the slogan of being Canadian, buy into your culture, your local people. Go out and say hello to your friends. See your local butcher, your local market. Have a conversation.
Shoppers know that American products are on the shelf and are sometimes left with a decision.
I'm debating this purchase. I am. Wow. If I had a garden, I'd have my own.
Fred Buzide says Canadian-grown food is good, but sometimes isn't as good as American-grown.
For example, watermelons coming out of Canada, they're very good, but they don't compare like to Texas or Georgia watermelons. They're incredibly sweet. They're very good.
Buzide supports the Buy Canadian movement, but says tariffs are affecting the bottom line.
I mean, they put tariffs on certain things, on watermelons and a different kind of fruit that we're bringing in, and we've had to raise our prices, and we're not selling as much as we used to.
Tariffs have also forced Buzide and other grocers to change the way they purchase products.
Lemons, for example, coming out of California, certain price. Now we're getting them out of Argentina or Spain or something like that. So it's a further away. The prices got to be higher because of shipping costs.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
The Windsor Selects are back on top of junior baseball in Canada.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. Strike three, and that's going to do it. The Windsor Selects are your 2025 junior national champions.
The Windsor Selects under-22 baseball team won the U22 national title in Nova Scotia this past weekend. A 2-run homer from Lucas Lapras helped secure the 2-0 win over the Halifax Mets.
Bertie Soulier, who started it, put it together, brought the best players from the county into one team, and it's been going on ever since. It's just a ton of talent, a ton of kids that get opportunity to play post-secondary baseball in the States and here, and just, couldn't be more proud of them.
Okay, congratulations to the Selects. Let's go back to Gary for a look at the 7-day forecast.
I'm promising more sunshine for the next couple of days. In fact, tomorrow's mostly sunny, especially in the afternoon. We'll see a high of 30, feeling like about 37 or 38. Some morning fog does dissipate, but by the noon hour, it already is up to about 27, feeling like 33. Still sunny for much of Saturday. It's Saturday late in the afternoon, say around 4:35, 5:30. Increase in cloudiness and showers. Showers, the story, a possibility on Sunday. Cooler, though, down to 28. 27s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The highs sunny, and then increase in cloudiness through the midweek. A week from now, cooler still. Sunny on Thursday, down to about 24, 25. I like the sound of that. Very comfortable. Warm enough, though, to be outdoors. That's a look at your weather. Good night.
Okay, Gary, thank you for that. And we'll leave you tonight with new video of the ongoing construction of the Gordie Howe Bridge. Now, this video travels from the perimeter showing access roads and then moves across the bridge. Recent updates to the 130-acre site include more landscaping, signage, fencing, parking spots, and light poles. You can also see the pedestrian path up to and across the bridge is now complete. Fantastic project coming to its close, set to open. Hopefully, we'll see a little later this year. That is our time tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. For everyone here at CTV on both sides of the camera, I'm Ricardo Veneza. Have a fantastic night.